But our podcast is One Versus the Other. I'm Lindsay.
Hi, my name is Kit.
Yes. And today we're going to be talking about cancel culture. Kit wanted us to talk about cancel culture.
Yeah, have you heard Bella Poarch? You mentioned to me that you don't know who she is.
Kind of, yeah. I just saw her. Okay, so first of all, I don't have a TikTok. Not really. I had it for I think a month and then I deleted it because it irritated me so much and I deleted my account. So I never got into the whole craze, like the frenzy.
Oh, okay.
Where
the trend.
Yeah, the trend of what is it, TikTok. But I guess she's famous on there, so I'll be on Snapchat or something and I'll be clicking through and then they're like, Bella Poarch is getting a divorce. I think that's the only thing I know about her. And that she was in the Navy. And that's it. I don't know anything else. I don't know why she got famous on TikTok. I don't know.
Yeah, she got famous because she do all the cute face because she look cute and then she boom, something like that. So people didn't really look at your face, look at her face, look at your face. Like actually you're not the only person. A lot of people did not like her because they feel like she is lack of talent. But she's a pretty great singer. I will give her that. Like
I don't know her music, but I mean I'll admit it. She's pretty.
She's pretty.
And at this point in time, you don't have to be talented to be famous. Like you just have to, for the most part, look attractive. At this point, you don't even have to be attractive to be famous. You don't even have to have talent to be famous. You could just be famous.
How?
I don't know, just tons of people. We've seen reality TV.
Oh, that's using that's the traditional route. You're using the program, the TV program to promote yourself in the media side.
Okay, well, if we were to look at like actors, like it's not like a lot of actors are exactly talented anymore. Like it's very difficult. Like we can admit like Matt Damon is talented, you know. So is Charlize Theron, like, has done diverse amount of roles. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people that are famous are not famous for their, like, talent. Or even because they're exactly beautiful. Like, I mean, like, let's, not to be an asshole, but, like, let's look at Kristen Stewart, like, the Twilight movies. Those movies are trash. Like
you just step on a whole bunch of fans, like fan base.
That's okay. Now. That's okay. I liked the books, and then in high school when I was 14, 13, and then I grew up, and then I reread it, and I thought, oh my god, and threw it away. I was like, this is a horrible book. I mean, like it did get me. It was a form of reading that I enjoyed. Either way, like I enjoy reading, which is why I reread the whole series. And I just disliked it.
I thought you just like vampire in general. Oh, you just like werewolf.
No, I like Anne Rice movies and things like that. Anne Rice is a famous fantasy novel writer. She does like horror, romance, vampire, and she was very popular. But for the most part, I prefer anything. Like there's novels like The Naked Communist, Freakonomics. I enjoy, Between Two Towers. Like there's so many books that I enjoy. But yeah, I'll enjoy like a horror romance novel. I like it when people die. It makes it more entertaining. Yeah. Especially if like the main people die. That's my thing.
That's where you're into Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I am into the original Game of I'm into the books, the Game of Thrones. The movie, the show, I guess. I don't think they show the evolution of the characters as much as they do in the book, but
I mean that's like majority book is really like movie actually is really hard to depict a book. Book is way more detailed and more pages need to write, like you have inner self, what you're thinking. Those type of stuff is not actually shown on the screen. You're talking to yourself in your brain, I
don't disagree with you, but back to the point of, right now we went off on
off
topic, completely off topic. But when it comes to Bella Poarch, like I can see exactly why she got famous. She's cute. She's very pretty. She has the whole wide eye, innocent look. She's very beautiful, has that slick hair. Like, I've seen photos of her. I'm like, oh, she's utterly beautiful. But going, that's not a talent. I just did it.
Please don't unsubscribe us.
I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just saying, like, based off what you said, right? Because I have no knowledge and I've never seen her videos. Actively have never seen them.
I think it's a few people draw into her cuteness or whatever, but like her niche is like girl, like into anime, into gaming, and then don't talk to anybody, just only by yourself and type of stuff. But do you know that recently, I know you said that she is getting a divorce, and within those time frames that she lost millions and millions of followers.
I don't understand why. I don't understand why that's anybody's business. That's sad. That sucks.
And people even saying that thread and even saying on thinking Instagram or Twitter is like, I will never trust you again. I was like, what the fuck do you have to trust me about?
You know who's upset is the people in the dark basement thinking that they could get her eventually. But I don't think she has a need to promote her private life. I'm sure her persona online and who she is in her private life are two completely different people, right? Because there's separatism. Well, you separate both. She's probably done a very good job at it. But I just don't think it's right, even though I may not think based off what she told me that she may have extreme talent. I also think that she has every right to keep her personal life private and not tell anybody about it, which marriage includes that. And if she chose not to disclose that, if that's what her and her husband agreed upon up until now, then what's the problem? Plus, it's a public document, so anyone could have found out that she was married while she was actually married, not during the divorce. So, bro, you should have done your research more. I still don't think so what they didn't want, I don't understand. Then, so no one knows why they're getting a divorce. But at the end of the day, they are getting a divorce. And at the end of the day,
it's nobody's business.
Exactly. At the end of the day, no matter what anyone says, I will say, like, even if she had like a secret child, right? Not my business.
Not in the spectrum of realm of celebrity. A lot of celebrity is like you couldn't date. Like even in Asia, till this day, especially for Korean, like you see a K-pop drama, K-pop idol, they're all like, oh, you're not supposed to date anybody. You have signed contract. You cannot even meet anybody. Like you'll be betrayed your fans, and then your career down to the drain. I was like, that's such a toxic culture.
And it sounds extremely lonely, but at the same time, it's like, it also seems unfair and still no one's business. But maybe the problem is I'm rational, and most people that put an individual on a pedestal, right, and are extremely expressive on them, like they're young kids, they don't understand the concept of privacy. Like think about kids always busting into their parents' room, like they don't fucking care.
I thought that's opposite. Like parents always busting into their kids' room.
I mean, parents do it so kids feel like they have a right to do it too. My mom did that to me one time. I remember once my mom, I don't want to tell this story.
That's keep it a pirate.
Yeah, I will tell you after that.
Okay.
But I think her private life is her private life. It's no one's business.
What do you?
And canceling someone over a marriage, a relationship that she has.
I don't know. I just feel like cancel culture is such a toxic environment. Like you want people to learn and grow out from it if they make mistake, right? But instead of you let them to able to correct their mistake, you just keep pounding on the person. It's like, oh, based on my own judgment, I'm gonna judge you. But who are you to judge? Like, are you perfect?
I mean, I think that in some people's mind, though, just to be devil's advocate, that their partner, or not their partner, their idol is put as a God standard, right? Let's be serious. Think about the fact that wherever people go, there's lines of people outside, they're staring, they're screaming, their houses get broken into, you know, and you just claim that people sent death threats for Bella.
Yeah, that I really do not understand. Like,
No, but think about this, right? I'm not asking you to understand their perspective, right? Or understand why anyone would think that, but understand this is the mindset of them, of this quote unquote fan, more like a fucking stalker, right? This fan, so and so, is putting this person on this pedestal, right, all the way up here, and then they have any form of stumbling, right? Your perspective of that quote unquote godly being, or your, you know, the celebrity falters. You get angry at them, like, you're supposed to be the one thing that's good in my life. You're supposed to be the thing that makes me happy, and you've deterred that. Think about the people that are extremely religious, right? And then something happens to them where they lose their perspective on their religion, they start to hate God. It's the same thing. It's a delusion.
Are you promoting your religious?
Oh, I am Catholic, FYI. I think we both know that.
Okay.
Everyone rolls their eyes whenever I say that.
You're looking so much rule of a Catholic girl.
I'm not living in sin no more, okay? I'm married. Living in sin?
How's that sin? Like, how's that sin? Like,
You're supposed to be married to be living with your partner.
Oh, okay.
That's why I said I said I'm no longer, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
You sucked. Oh, you sucked.
Do you get now what I meant now? Okay. But I don't know. It's just the perspective of them. I'm not saying that they're right. Obviously, it is a delusion. But because things aren't perfect, nothing is perfect. And so, how sad does your life have to be that you put this individual so high in your perspective that the minute that you learn something about them that you slightly dislike, it's nothing morally wrong, right? Marriage isn't a moral issue, in my opinion, and in most societal opinions, right? Most people. But for this person, for this fan, stalker, it is. And so then now they feel like it's their right to get angry, to attack, to bring this person down because of the way you feel. But, bro, fix your personal life. That's what needs to be done. Like, get some therapy.
Yeah, I can totally see that. You know, this is only one incident. Actually, this type of scenario happened way too often in Asian culture. I remember one of the incident was one of the singer in Japan. She was like signing a contract. I think AKB48. That's what the group name was. Mm-hmm. And she was signing contracts, not supposed to date anybody. And then she got caught that she had a boyfriend, secret boyfriend. And the next day, she not just only apologized to the company, she was getting on her knee and shake her head to show the respect that like she betrayed her.
Is this like 47 Ronin? Like,
well,
do you understand?
The society seen that thing as like super high value, I guess. Why you look shocked?
Well, first of all, do you understand the reference 47 Ronin?
No.
It's a samurai reference where if you you kill yourself,
like, similar. It's
like
more,
it sounds like
it's more honor system. I mean, in Japan, everything is about a lot of honor.
It is basically like slit her wrist, like bleed out for them. It's the same scenario.
Yeah,
that sounds like
toxic.
I feel like I would have just left my country. In all honesty. But then also, we don't understand her contract. We don't understand whether or not her contract forced her to do that. And whether or not she signed a document saying that this is what she would do if she did not fulfill her duties correctly. But at the end of the day, she should have read the fine print. She made the agreement, right? You made the contract agreement that you wouldn't be in a relationship, and you broke that agreement. I can't really feel sorry for you in that instance. I can feel sorry for Bella Poarch that she's getting all these death threats, because she didn't say, I will be your celebrity and be single for the rest of my life. She didn't make that agreement, but this girl did. That's a little bit different, in my opinion.
Interesting. I just feel like both of them have some scenario. Like I mean, you see the hater.
Yeah,
that they the same feeling come
yeah.
out of it is the same.
It's similar, yeah, but at the same time, it's just slightly a variant, like slightly different. Like I can pity her, but then I also can't feel fully sorry for her because you made the agreement, you signed the contract, you broke that contract by choice, knowing what was gonna happen, that something wrong would happen. You're not a victim in this, in my opinion. You chose to sign that contract, to sign your life away, to be famous. That is a contract in your country. Kind of like when people, bring drugs into another country. Bro, you knew what was gonna happen. That country does not have legal drugs. You're not supposed to be smoking weed, taking cocaine. That's not legal in that country. And you're surprised that you're arrested? No, life don't work like that. You follow the rules that you agree. That's it. Period. Does that sound weird?
A little bit. I mean, I understand your concept, but back to the topic. What do you think about? Is the cancel culture is a good thing?
No, God no.
You don't think a person make mistake? They're supposed to socially judging them?
I don't care. I really don't care. I think it's the dumbest thing on this planet. But then again, that's coming from someone that loves comedy. Like, I love anyone's jokes. I don't have an issue with, like, someone could say the most vile thing, I'm like, that guy's an asshole. Am I gonna do anything about it? Am I gonna attack them? Why am I gonna waste my day doing that?
Ain't that you bring up Dave Chappelle got
Yeah,
attacked?
Yeah, I know. Hey. Dave Chappelle, I love Dave Chappelle. So I was just like this.
Since copyright, so we will not pay the full clip.
Yeah, we can cut it out. We can cut through it. Here, this one. It was on SNL. You wanna hold it?
Yeah, where was this?
It was on Saturday Night Live. And it was right after what happened to Kyrie Irving and Kanye, where they made the anti-Semitic comics supposedly. He'll explain it in his jokes. The thing is if you're canceling Dave Chappelle, okay, listen, he is doing a live sketch, right?
Mm-hmm.
On Saturday Night Live, and you're saying that he's making anti-Semitic jokes. But everyone in that room laughed. So if everyone in that room laughed at his quote-unquote not anti-Semitic jokes, they say they are, but I listened to them, didn't seem anti-Semitic to me. It means hate. I didn't hear hate speech. And everyone in that room laughed. You have to persecute everyone in that room for laughing.
But sometimes, people can argue that the people in those type of show is like
they're forced to laugh.
Yeah, they just like cue, laugh, and then
I guess that's true, but then at the end of the day, you signed an agreement that you would laugh. And then you chose to continue laughing, hearing the jokes, if they're supposedly anti-Semitic. Do you understand what I mean? Like, you could have got up and left, but you chose to sit down and stay for the anti-Semitic jokes, supposedly. Because they're not, by the way.
I have to listen to that.
Okay,
to
sorry,
decide
I told
myself.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for being here. But before I start tonight, I just wanted to read a brief statement that I prepared. I denounce anti-Semitism in all its forms. And I stand with my friends in the Jewish community. And that, Kanye, is how you buy yourself some time. I gotta tell you guys, I've probably been doing this 35 years now. And early in my career, I learned that there are two words in the English language that you should never say together in sequence. And those words are the and juice.
The Jew.
Never heard someone do good after they said that. freaks and fool. Normally when he's in trouble, I pull up immediately. But this time I was like, you know what? Let me see what's gonna happen first. Noriega and them were there, the rappers that I love, and they all had their gold chains and stuff on. And Kanye said, only millionaires wear chains. I said, what? He said, I'm a billionaire. Billionaires don't wear their money on their body. I told my children, I said, oh, snap. With a good appearance, it was fun and funny. But when he woke up, he went on Drink Champs again. This time, he was on one. He was mad about something. He said, I can say anti-Semitic things, and the Beatles can't drop me. Now what? And they just dropped that nigga immediately. Ironically, Adidas was founded by Nazis. They were offended.
Even Puma was founded by Nazis. After World War II. Or I think during, one or the other.
He broke the show business rules. There's just a rule, you know, the rules of perception. If they're black, then it's a gang. If they're Italian, it's a mob. But if they're Jewish, it's a coincidence, and you should never speak about it.
It's true. But supposedly that's anti-Semitic.
How?
Thank you.
I don't know, just like,
But do you see where he was just like, they're saying that everything, him making jokes about what Kanye had said and everything like that. Or even saying, the one thing he does say in there is like, in Hollywood, I'm not going to say much, but I will say there are a lot of Jewish people there. Like in Hollywood. It is statistically proven. And that's why they're angry. Oh, you're making it seem like we have all the power, like it's anti-Semitic. But if there's only 2% of the Jews in society, but 80% of the Hollywood is Jewish, like the producers, the people that own all the high-end companies, my question would be, how is it anti-Semitic to point that out?
I mean, you point out the facts. I don't think that was something.
Yeah, but they're saying that's anti-Semitic.
Just like I would say Filipino is like, a lot of people would say,
Whoa. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, your husband is half. So we'll say claiming that, oh, we have a mafia. Like people, we even have a joke.
I hear Filipinos talk about the mafia though.
But it's true. It is not in a bad way. It just describes that how united they are.
Yeah, but explain. Wait, I think people just think we mean mafia, but I think Kit's talking about where
Like
military. There is a Filipino mafia in the military, and each branch has a different Filipino mafia, and they all have each other's back, basically.
I would say out of all the Asian race, I'm more like I feel envy.
You envy.
I envy Philippine culture because they're actually not just only like if I'm in my workplace and I met another Asian or Chinese, same thing, they wouldn't want to help me. No. But if it's a Filipino, they saw me as long as I'm Asian, they will want to help me. And it's like that's how like
That's so sad.
that's how like
United they are.
They're united, like they know like one person's power is not enough. They will gather together to help each other out. That's part I envy. Like that's part that I feel like they're really patriarchy though. I would say they are really like love to be Filipino. It's just such a proud, such a joy. But not every ethnicity will have this type of
Sensation.
pride. Yeah, a pride for saying that, oh, I am such, I'm from such, I'm so proud. Like, not every other, not as strong. I would say maybe some of them are, but not every one that I encounter with for my personal life that I've actually seen as strong as Filipino. That's why I said that it's nothing bad. It's a good term. Like they're really united. That's just only a joking way that we're saying that they're really united.
Yeah. No, I don't think anyone would disagree. I think anyone who knows the term knows exactly what it means. It's not an insult. Because whenever I mention it to people that I know who are military and Filipino, because I know a few, they're always like, yeah, the mafia gets you anywhere. Like, the mafia will help you thrive. And I'm just like, you shouldn't be bragging about that. So not right. Like, it don't look good.
But they actually work really hard. You know?
Yeah, they help each other, and it's not in a bad way. I mean, honestly, it could be in a bad way in certain ways. We don't know every instance, but for the most part, what we see, it's mostly to just make sure everyone's got each other's back.
Yeah.
Especially in a difficult work environment. So I get what you mean, but like so far from what you've listened from Dave Chappelle, would you call any of that anti-Semitic?
No, I think point of fact doesn't mean that you're hating on somebody.
On Jews, and specifically Jewish people.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what Dave Chappelle was pointing out, like, not the DEF CON part, like what Kanye said, I guess, would be considered anti-Semitic rhetoric, but I don't know if he meant it the way everyone perceived it. It's more like he probably meant he was getting angry at specific people that were Jewish, but he didn't explain himself well. That's what I'm assuming, because I always want to assume that someone's trying to do the best, but we don't know. Maybe he was trying to be completely anti-Semitic, like we're not in his brain, but from his explanation later on, he was like, no, I was mad at some record label people, I'm extremely angry at them, and they treated me and other black artists super badly, and so that's who I was talking about, and I'm just like, okay.
I mean, people are entitled to what they felt. And why does it matter? Like you just like you mad at your boss sometimes, or you mad at some of the people that you ever work with. You just weren't talking smack for that day. But
I think the difference is probably that it's at a larger scale, so people can see it. And then some people, like what happened with Bella Poarch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Her fans are so aggravated at her that they are attacking her, probably saying threats and stuff like that. So they're assuming that someone who really, really loves Kanye, right, because Kanye is beloved, that they would do something about it. But let's be honest, no one's gonna do anything. Like, no matter how much Kanye is loved, like no one's gonna attack someone that's Jewish. I don't believe that would happen. Like I would never do it. Plus, because you can't, for the most part, you can't physically tell if someone's like Jewish for the most part. Like they know if some of them are wearing their yarmulkes, like. Is that what that's called?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't.
When some of them are wearing their headpiece, the men, okay, that's a way you can tell. But for the most part, if they're not wearing it, can you tell if someone's Jewish? No. Okay, so then that makes one thing where you can't like blatantly attack someone. But you can attack probably like their religious temples and things like that. So I can see that being a problem. But do we think that people don't recognize that Kanye may have an issue with his communication because of mental issues? Mm-hmm. People can probably see that. Like it's been admitted. He says he isn't, but other people, he's in the past said he is. So it's like you don't know. So I think that we just need to give a little bit of more grace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you can take away his deals, and that's business's choice. But can people really say? Can media completely say that we took what Kanye said seriously?
I mean, it's up for interpretation.
Exactly. But if you shine a light and you try to control someone, it doesn't look good. Like look at what they're saying to Kyrie Irving, right? The basketball player. Mm-hmm. Posted about a Amazon movie called it's about who the true Israelites are, and it is a movie that can seem to have anti-Semitic rhetoric, but it's a documentary and supposedly there's evidence, and there's also a lot of actually Jewish people in supposedly the documentary, right? So, and they're saying that Kyrie Irving should be canceled and that he has to pay $500,000 to a Jewish community. He has to meet with leaders in the Jewish community. He has to profusely apologize. He has to listen to a group of people aerate their issues with what he said. He has to do like 6 different items to be let back to play in the NBA. For reposting a documentary.
I mean, you believe what you believe. I don't know.
But at the same time, he didn't say anything.
He didn't say anything.
He just said, "Watch the video." And supposedly, okay, so what the media did was shine a light more on the documentary. So people are now watching the documentary, right? People are probably who were never gonna watch it are now watching it. And supposedly, because I haven't finished watching it, but I did read a synopsis about it. It's about how, based off the geographics and the Bible and prior history and sociology, Jews during the Jesus times, right, was in Africa, in a specific area in Africa. So the Jews were actually, the Israelites were actually black. And so the Ashkenazi Jews, I'm totally butchering this, but I don't really care, supposedly have adopted the Jewish culture but are not the true Israelites. That's the claim of the movie. That's it. It's basically just saying black people are the true Jews. That's it. I don't know if I would consider that anti-Semitic. I haven't watched it, right? So I would have to watch the whole video to say it. But based off that information, is that considered anti-Semitic? Because it's kind of like watching like a Nazi, like a Nazi documentary, or even a documentary on different murders, right? And being like, oh, you're promoting this murderer, or you're promoting, you know, being a Nazi. It's just a movie, and people can determine
what they want to believe.
Yeah.
I guess the part is that a lot of people in media will think not everybody have a sense of common sense. Like some people that whatever you said, the earth is flat, the bird comes fly on the ground. There is some people who believe those type of ideas, so they kind of bombard them.
But that's also my problem. That means you're trying to control how someone thinks because you think you're smarter than the average individual in the world. And most people, supposedly from what I read online, that documentary that Kyrie Irving's reposted, like, most people couldn't even get through it because of how, like, boring, how boring it was. So it's like, if the average person couldn't even get through it because of how boring it is, how are they actually gonna agree with the film or even understand what's going on if they're not even actually watching it because it's so boring? But now you've really brought it to the forefront of everyone's mind because you're trying to tell everyone how to think and bombard them with how to think. It's just that Kyrie, I think most of the things that I looked up online just said Kyrie Irving's posted anti-Semitic video or movie, right? And they just kept saying that, and I'm like, dude, what movie? Like, what's this horrible anti-Semitic? I'm not gonna just say someone's anti-Semitic until I actually see what was done that was anti-Semitic, right? Like, that's not how life works. Everyone has a freedom
to speech.
Yeah, and freedom to think what they want to think.
I just said it. You're entitled to what you think.
Exactly. So if someone wants to think the world is flat, do I think you're a fucking idiot? Probably. But hey, I might be wrong. 100% possible. But at the same, like, if you want to think the world is flat and you want to believe that there's 5 different gods in the world, or if you want to believe that enemy is real, or if you want to believe that you're a wolf, you can believe all those things. You are more than welcome to it. I'm gonna stand over here though. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. But it's like, it's your freedom. Why are you trying to control how someone speaks?
I think it's majority of the power one that like try to control the.
Exactly. That's what people are saying. People think that okay, so this is the conspiracy theory. I don't know if it's true, but it definitely, I can see where people are coming from as I'm clutching my coffee. But supposedly people think that supposedly they said that a lot of the higher ups are like of Jewish descent, are very unhappy and dislike what both of them had said and posted. So that's why they're pushing media to claim that they're extremely anti-Semitic.
But that's like really conspiracy. Like
I mean, it's a conspiracy theory, but does it look like it considering what Kyrie Irving's did? What did he do? Right? Was it anti-Semitic? That's the question.
I don't know. Not every Jew think the way you think.
Yeah, 100%. And anyone can think the way they want to think, right? Like, do I care for what Kanye said? Fuck no. Like, I don't want to touch that either. But do I think that, what is it called? Do I think that they're the next, Hitler? No, God, no. You have to have, a lot of drugs in your system.
Yeah, you have to have certain type of
mentality. Yeah, you have to have a certain ability of, charisma. Do I think that Kanye has that type of charisma?
He landed on Kim Kardashian.
Are we claiming that she's a genius or something?
No, I mean she made herself rich. I think in some form of people will see that as a form of success.
I mean, yeah, I guess. She was born into the right family, right? Her father was a famous lawyer for the OJ trials, right? And he was extremely wealthy. She happened to date Ray J, who was extremely wealthy as well and famous. She was Paris Hilton's friend, who was extremely wealthy and famous. Yeah, she really did a lot.
Now he sounds just hate.
No, not necessarily. I actually purchased like her Skims and stuff like that because her bras are really good. Like, do you know what Skims are?
I don't know.
It's her product that made her a billionaire.
I don't know what it is.
Skims is a shape. It's like bras and underwear.
Oh, okay.
They're really good, actually. Phenomenal product, actually. Do I watch the Kardashians? I do. Do I hate them?
You like
I love reality TV. I love reality
drama.
But do I think she's an idiot? I don't think she's an idiot. I actually think she's very intelligent.
I mean, you have to have some sort of intelligence for you to able to manage your fortune.
Oh yeah, 100%. And to build it to that extent that quickly, extremely impressive.
Mm-hmm.
But am I
You disagree with Kanye West landing there?
I mean, he wanted to date her. People can marry whoever they want to marry, right? And considering that he has technically a disorder and she stayed with him for 5 years, I find that quite dedicated and quite impressive. Because dealing with someone who has bipolar disorder, that's extremely difficult. Can you imagine if his outbursts on social media are like this? You can only imagine what's going on at home.
That's true. That's true.
Like, and I'm not assuming things because he seems to very much love his kids, but it's like,
yeah, that's always a chance.
Yeah, you don't know. I'm not saying like touching anyone or anything like that, but I'm sure that it just was not an enjoyable experience. I've seen what people are like with bipolar disorder, like up front. I wouldn't marry someone who has that type of disorder, and if I did, it would be very difficult for me to stay, personally. And maybe I'm being judgmental, but that's my personal opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel not everybody will find that as an easy task, but some people will able to stick out and work through it, and I mean, people want to get better.
I find it impressive if someone stays, but it's also impressive when someone with disorder actually stays on their medication.
It's hard.
Yeah, and especially because it's all that bipolar medication is technically, isn't it like a guessing game? There's no exact science to it from what I've seen from the medication. They're just trying to dull the senses so that you stay at an average level. But they don't quite know, so they keep switching you on and off to different things until they figure out the correct concoction.
I mean, that's every modern medicine that related to brain. There's no way you still don't understand the brain. How can
Fully,
you?
How can you drug it correctly?
Yeah, how can you actually know what your weight dose is? I think I have my medication before that I didn't know. Like it will get me to the point I was like, oh, I'm wider weight. Like
I know someone who was on antidepressants because they thought that she was depressed and the antidepressants would help. You want to know what one of her side effects was to her antidepressants?
Depressed?
Suicidal thoughts.
No, how's that for you? She's antidepressant.
Exactly.
Like I don't know.
Let's just say that person is no longer on that medication, but it's like this is crazy. And I know I've heard of that happening to a few people, and that just happened to someone I knew, and also I actually know a few people from college.
I mean, for me, my medication is fine. Like it helped me to get out of my, at least for my personal experience. But I had to go for different medication first before I found the one that actually stabilized.
Oh, that's good. I mean, I remember the person that I mentioned that I know or knew at the time who was an alcoholic. That person was on antipsychotics while they were an alcoholic. So you can only imagine that combination.
Yeah, you're not supposed to drink.
I know. That person was extremely entertaining. I can say this though. I think the alcohol was self-medicating for depression and her.
But actually, alcohol is a depressant.
I know, but her personality was way better when she was drinking. Like, I thought, oh, she's only a shitty person because of the alcohol. And so it was only like a rarity what I would see it, like maybe like once every few times that we would hang out, she would all of a sudden scream. But
what type of friends do you hang out with?
No, I don't hang. Not a friend no more. But after she got off of the alcohol, it was horrendous. Her personality was horrendous.
Maybe she was still in the recovery mode because you were just off for maybe a month or 2 months. It's a long journey.
It was like 8 months after.
Oh.
And it was while she was in her. Okay, so I saw her during her recovery. And let's just say she did some questionable things in her recovery, but I'm like, whatever. That's not my business. I didn't care. I stayed friends with her. I went and visited her after she got out of recovery. I was like, oh, this is difficult, but basically what you said, like, oh, maybe she's just recovering. And then I introduced my husband to her, and I'm like, she's just a fucking bitch. She just fucking sucks ass. She's a horrible human being. She needs to stop fucking screaming while we're driving. Why? Because someone missed a parking spot? Like you're just gonna start screaming in their ear and tell them to get the fuck out of the car when it's not your car?
Yeah, she doesn't seem like a decent human being. Like
No.
Just be chill. I feel like she couldn't be chill at all.
Dude.
I just don't give a shit about somebody that with their private life with their private life or public life. I have nothing to do with it. You don't owe me a dime. I don't give a shit.
But I think that you and I think like that, right? Like we personally do not care what people do online or do on their own personal life. To be honest, I don't really fucking care. But also, you and I are extremely busy people.
Are you saying that a lot of people that are doing all kinds of stuff
they need to find something better to do with their time? They really need to just find something to do, right? Because they're investing this free time on this person
to send death threat.
Yeah, when there's no need to. Like you can have your own personal opinion that you talk with a friend, you know. But do you really need to harass someone based off an opinion you have.
Yeah, go out there, right?
Yeah, like you gotta find something better to do.
Paparazzi, you need to find something better to do.
But the thing is that paparazzi have gotten rich making people famous, so people have used paparazzi on purpose. Kim Kardashian used to call people to where she was located, and so did Paris Hilton, so that they would take pictures. But then at the same time, when you breach that one boundary, right, where you're telling someone where you are 100% of the time, then eventually when you want certain things to be private, you've already let it go past a boundary where they can follow you because you've given them permission already.
I mean, that's on those couple of people, right? But the rest of the celebrity was always paparazzi. They didn't ask for it.
Yeah, probably, yeah. Like I mean, some people I would assume not, but other people I would assume so.
I think it's really ignoring when paparazzi is so
ignoring?
Annoying.
Annoying. Okay, sorry.
Annoying that people go out of the street and just by go through. Still paparazzi they came in, but that's also proven that you are still in the popular scale. Like if you're no longer if you're in your 70, 80, or 60, you pass your golden era. You walk past the airport, nobody fucking take your picture though. And you're just like, yo, you suddenly just kind of, now you feel their height of sensation and down sensation. You feel a difference, if that makes sense.
I'm actually really confused. Are you saying that they just have to wait till they get old and then the pictures will stop being taken of them?
Yeah, and you just have to wait until you got unpopular.
Or you can make yourself unpopular, but the downfall of being unpopular is money loss.
How can you make yourself unpopular?
I don't know. Do what Kanye did. Make an anti-Semitic comment.
You think that he's unpopular? All the paparazzi try to freaking capture all his shit. He's using paparazzi right now to capture all this stuff. I think those type of backfire will never get you off the scale of avoiding being in the public size. You're lay low all the time, super pirate person, nobody give a crap about you after a certain year. That's go time and time again. You see a lot of famous people for get past their golden era. They're no longer that golden shiny goose. You're just not sorry, but it's.
I mean, they still take pictures of Goldie Hawn though.
Yeah, but not freaking people freaking slap chat you. Oh, you gotta go to the freaking hotel. You gotta go to this.
I mean, they do it to Russell Crowe. He'll go out to the beach. He's a 60-something-year-old man. They're like, oh, he lost his body, and I'm like, no shit, he's 60.
Yeah, that's why you don't give a shit. You take your picture. Guess what? After that picture, the paparazzi feel like this is an unpopular topic. They will not try to do that again.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that because I've seen it 6 years in a row every year. Every time he goes for a swim, I see a picture and I'm like, I don't want to see this. There's too much fucking hair. If I don't show my hair and I don't go to the beach because I don't want to see people shirtless, why is it popping up on my phone?
People think that I don't know.
It seems like a weird fetish that they just want to force my eyeballs to see everything when it doesn't need to see all these things.
I feel like paparazzi is actually want to make people judgmental about every single thing.
I don't think it's paparazzi. I think paparazzi know that people naturally are judgmental, and so they are feeding that type of greed, the fact that they want to judge someone.
Because they couldn't judge themselves.
No, I don't think it's about that. I think because at the end of the day, the paparazzi are not the ones in charge of the magazines. They just give the magazines what they want. So truly, it is the magazines and people in charge of the magazines that are like, oh, well, this sells money.
We're not able to take that job. That job sells.
Some of them make a ton of money, and some of them make very little money.
It doesn't matter how much money I can make. That job sucks ass. You're the enemy.
I don't want to follow people. Well, some of them are friends with the celebrities, so the celebrities will naturally call them. But yeah, I don't disagree with you. Honestly, it just seems like a horrible job. I don't want to sit in my car. I don't want to take pictures of myself. And the one that I thought was particularly horrible was when Nick Lachey, do you remember he dated one of the Simpson sisters, Jessica Simpson.
I have no idea.
They're the host of Love Is Blind.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they are?
Yeah, it's that guy that was asking all the questions when I was showing you the reunion.
Mm-hmm.
Where that girl was trying to make that guy seem like a horrible person. And then you watch at the end the scene where she was talking about how he was fat shaming her for eating 2 tangerines.
Mm-hmm.
And then you finally see the scene and he was literally like, why didn't you eat earlier?
Maybe she feel like the tone of voice that her interpretation is that.
That's what she said. I legitimately think that she was trying to make her seem like the victim to make herself seem more famous. Because on season 2, one of the girls that was constantly insulted for her weight and everything like that became the most famous out of all of them. I think she was just doing it to become famous. I'll be really honest.
I don't think people would think that far.
I think women are that manipulative. I sincerely do. You're like, people don't think that far. 100%. I think 5 years in advance. And if I really want to manipulate someone, I don't know if I want to reveal my secrets. No, but I know women who have done it. Like, sincerely, women who are like, oh, I'm going to do this. And then they go do it, and I'm like, that's fucked up. But, like, I'll warn the person who's on the back end, and they're like, oh, no, that person would never do that to me. And I'm like, okay. 5 years down the line, that person's screwed over. And that happens a lot more than you think.
You don't think some of the people just go in as like they're really naive and then shit just happen?
Most of the time nowadays, for something like that on reality TV, no. Think about the Asian guy who was like, I've never cried because I've been so in love. He didn't think that they would put the scene where he's putting the eye drops in his eyes.
Maybe his eye actually dry.
But then he starts talking about how he's never cried this much for love right after that.
Maybe he cried the day before. And then right now the eyes are so puffed up, it's so dry, so I need to freaking water them now. You never have those type of eyes like when you go through emotion?
No, God, no. I don't use eye drops. When I cry, I don't want anyone seeing me.
Yeah, that's why he probably did before the day before he cried. And then on that day,
but his face wasn't even, okay, first of all, his face wasn't even red. His eyes weren't puffy. It was the teardrops. You're thinking that these people are too, no. People go on TV generally to manipulate different situations so that they come out and, like, they prosper. Because she was lying about how often she, like, goes and travels as a flight attendant.
She's flight attendant?
Yeah.
Couldn't tell, sorry.
Do you want to say why?
Her mannerism is not what normally I see from a flight attendant. No.
She was talking about how she gets to travel all the time and that she gets all these free flights to all these exotic places. And I'm like, bro, that's you on standby. You have to stay at a hotel on standby.
That's your job.
Yeah, I know. And so she talks about, she's like, oh yeah, like I'll randomly like go to New York and have a meal and then fly back. And I'm like, you only get like 5 of those flights a year. Why are you gonna waste it on going to New York once? Like for 12 hours. That doesn't make sense. Come up with a better lie.
Yeah, I just don't feel like, normally I see a lot of flight attendants really caring. She's not one of them.
Oh yeah, exactly. So what do you think the type of person she is?
She feel ignored. She would feel annoyed. Like
annoyed. But do you think that he was like that when they were in the pods? I think because, okay, so this is what happened. If you don't say that you love a person and you don't pick one of the guys, you are no longer in the next episodes.
Okay.
So she has to find a relationship to make sure she stays on the show. So since the beginning, this guy had been annoying her. But yet she still said she loves him even though there's a bunch of red flags on both of their ends. It's to stay on TV.
Yeah, I think both of them using the relationship though.
I felt really bad for him. He was just a dum-dum.
Like he's the one that's so like easy to go into.
No, it's more like he's ditzy.
I don't know.
And it's like, Ditzy means like, you know, like airheaded. Like, you know, like not a lot of common sense. And like, just seems to, like you can tell them to, oh, please make sure you keep picking up your clothes, but they're gonna still keep putting their clothes on the floor. Right? Like, that kind of ditzy. And I felt bad for him, because I was just, I could see where he was like, oh, he would say something asshole, but it wasn't, the intent wasn't to be mean. But when she would say something, you could tell she was trying to hurt his feelings. Like, oh, sometimes you just say cold things. And he was like, what does that mean? And she's like, you know, you just say things. And it's like, it's trying to bring down someone's self-esteem.
Why don't she just freaking be honest when she was like dealing with that situation? Oh, I don't like the way you
Because
express.
you still want to look good. If she doesn't necessarily, because someone like you and I who straight up say like, oh, we don't like this, we look like assholes.
You don't have to say it like that.
I say it like that.
Oh, that's why.
I mean, I say it to people that I don't care about. And at work, I'm completely different. I'm like, oh, can you not do that like that in the future? I would prefer that you did it this way. But some people don't like it when I say it like that either.
Yeah, your tone of voice.
Well, I'm saying it very quickly on purpose.
I don't think that helped.
Dude, I've heard you talk to some people. You and I are not likable.
You and I are not likable at all.
Like, you and I do things where I'm just like, later on, I'm just like, oh, I can see why they gave us a look.
That's not me.
Okay, fine, I'll speak for myself. I'm the asshole. And I'm extremely unlikable, and I totally get it. I'm perfectly okay with that. I just know the reason why I'm really good at customer service is it's called manipulation.
That's the part that I would not like. If I do a customer that is stupid,
Yeah.
I would beep out that word. I was like, if I deal with a customer that didn't give you, it's just rude, from the back end to the front end. Like, didn't give a crap about how you're feeling and just like, you ruined my day. And I was like, you ruined mine.
Yeah, I don't do that.
That's why I cannot be customer service.
I don't do that. I'm just like, because I take the perspective, it's like, if their day is already horrible enough, they're probably frustrated, and you're the very last call that they make.
Yeah, but you don't have to put your frustration on somebody. Doesn't have anything to do with it to begin with.
Yeah, but some people can't control it. Like, some people say things with an attitude, and it's not their intent to be mean, but they do it anyways. Because they're just frustrated and they have no other way to express themselves. Like, for instance, earlier, I was like, are you not feeling good? And you were like, why? And I was like, you just don't seem very happy today. And you're like, no, I'm just tired. It's because the way you had spoken earlier, it seemed like you were upset.
Am I?
No. I'm not saying that you aren't. I'm saying that the way you're expressing yourself, because you're tired, you get frustrated faster. So then the way you express yourself is more frustrated, right? But your intent is not to be mean. So instead of, and I'm looking at you, I'm like, oh, she's not trying to be mean, but my reaction to you being frustrated is not to be mean back. Not saying that you were mean at all, because you weren't. You just seemed frustrated. But it's because you were tired, so I just asked you, right? So I take of it in the sense of when you're looking at a customer and they're coming at you rudely, it may not be because they're fully being rude, in my opinion. This is me. This is the stance that I take when I'm talking to a customer. I'm thinking they're probably having a shitty time already. They have no boundary anymore, right, to be nice. They've lost it all because of all the frustration they've gotten. So even though I'm not supposed to be there to be their soundboard, I still have to be kind to them.
I think I would do a diligent to give them a benefit of doubt for 1 or 2 times. When you get to the 3rd time, I'm just like,
yeah, no, I've seen you.
and I was
Do you remember the time you helped that person
And you kept accidentally identifying them incorrectly?
I don't remember.
You were like on the phone and you're trying to help them,
Mm-hmm.
and because of their voice, you assumed that it was a man. But it wasn't a man.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, how would I know is like the voice is really deep. Like,
But do you remember how the husband reacted to you?
I don't remember already.
The husband was a sheriff,
Mm-hmm.
and you met to help repair something,
Mm-hmm.
and you said that the sheriff was giving you a lot of attitude, and it was making you so uncomfortable that you kept misidentifying the person.
Because
They were just being mean to you, but they thought you were trying to be actively insulting, but really you were just so uncomfortable that you kept making the same mistake over and over again, even though you didn't mean to. Do you not remember that?
I do not. Like, I told you I only have 8 gig of RAM. So,
You're right. You came into the office like this. Oh my God, Lindsay. Oh my God.
I don't want to deal with them again.
You were like, it was actually like, I felt really bad, like, that you had to deal with that. Cause you did, and you were getting frustrated because they were being mean to you. Or they came off aggressive. I just think that some people just have no chill pill.
yeah.
Because there's a difference between intent and accidental. Like, was your intent to be an ass? 100% not. Did that man make you uncomfortable? 100%.
Yeah, because I couldn't tell. I still couldn't tell this day. Like, I don't know.
I don't blame you. I don't know. I thought you were like, you, and that day, I was so surprised you were trying so hard to be nice. Because normally you would just be like, whatever, here's your computer, I'm leaving.
Yeah, but because they're a freaking sheriff, like, I don't want to freaking, like, yo, girl, and then they get freaking turnaround station, and they're on the high pedestal of the company spectrum, so I don't want to freaking fuck up the company, so I was like, yeah, alright, I'm fucking hold this up, but I guess, like, some sort of sip it out, so I still don't believe you, yo. Mentally, I'm not prepared.
Mentally, what do you mean?
Like, because when she said, she really wish she would have a conversation with me, like, couldn't tell.
Yeah, you said her voice was extremely deep, and that you just didn't know.
Yeah, like, not just only that is, to me, what my registration of tone of voice.
You have a difficulty time. I know that.
Yeah, I thought that was a guy. Like, I'm still thinking that was a guy. Like,
I don't blame you. I mean, it's not like you were intentionally being mean, right? Like,
yeah.
like, so I don't think that. I think also the aspect is like, again, I'm just gonna say it. Some customers, I agree with you, have no chill. And while I do agree with you that a representative of a company who is nice to an individual is not a sounding board to allow their aggression off, right? It's not their right. Do I think it still happens and that it's necessary to...
That's what happened everywhere.
Yeah, I know. Do I think it's necessary to deal so things don't escalate? 100%. Every day.
Sometimes I deal with stuff that I don't want to escalate, but people want it to.
Yeah, they keep poking at people till they react. And I think that's what cancel culture is for at the end of the day. Is that when you cancel someone, you have the capability, you keep negging on them.
You control their...
You want to control their emotions, and the emotion you want to get, I'm not trying to agitate you right now, is to have a reaction, like an aggressive reaction. Or to seem apologetic. You want one or the other. You want the drama. And I think people are feeding off the problem. It's like everyone wants a problem nowadays. And I'm just like, bro, just let it go.
Yeah, it's not that deep.
Serious, yeah. Like, it's not that, like, for instance, like, if everyone reacted, like, life wouldn't be good.
I mean, you have bigger stuff to worry about. Maybe future war.
Wall? What wall?
Wartime. Like...
Oh, war. I thought you meant wall. I thought you were
No.
talking about the Mexican border.
No.
The wall they're building.
Wartime. Like, you want to stay as peace as... I think people are just too peaceful, so they have time to think about shit like that.
What? People are wasting their time too much. That's what's going on. They got nothing better to do.
Yeah. Well, today's topic we actually cover about cancel culture and what our opinion on.
Cancel culture, which, yeah, I think we're pretty much on the same page, except on that Asian girl who shaved her head.
Oh, yeah. I think,
I have a little bit of a different perspective on that.
I mean, I can see your side of you, and that made me gain more understanding. Oh, okay, maybe that's what the other side of people actually were thinking. Yeah, which is good, different perspective. I didn't agree. I still don't agree.
That's okay. I mean, it's not like everyone has to agree.
Yeah, if that is the case, we'll be boring society.
I know, you and I would get a bunch of boring conversation. It would just be a bunch of yes men. And I'm just like, I'd rather shoot myself. But we hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Please like, comment, subscribe if you would like to. Don't want to force anyone to do anything. Kit will do the forcing.
I will do a cut over here, and I'm gonna do a cut in the future. So I always just say, please like and subscribe and put this in the front. Because we always do it in the end. I'm like, I don't know how many people pass the mark of how many minutes, right?
Yeah, before they do it. But thank you so much for listening, and we hope you have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, bye.